Hello everybody and welcome to the Great White Sharpedo Fire Red Solo Run Sharpedo version on the channel. This should be an interesting follow-up to our Houndoom Solo Run Speed Run. It's just basically a test to see how quickly I can get through the game with a single Pokemon. Gen 3 is my favourite, Fire Red is my favourite of Gen 3. That is what I am doing. So as you can see, I've replaced Squirtle with Carvenar so that I get Sharpedo, making sure that we face off against Bulbasaur, meaning that our run will be the most difficult run for Sharpedo. I set my style to set so that if I have any other Pokemon, I don't have the option to switch out. And straight off the bat, I notice a difference between the two starters from Houndoom to Sharpedo. Having a stab 60 power bite attack makes life a lot easier for us from the beginning. After 37 minutes we head into fight Brock, and it's quite easy compared to our run with Houndoom. We bite away at Geodude, and the same with Onyx, who again uses Bind, and I don't really know why. Like, we had the option to use Rock Tomb, and our defense is really poor. So I think it would be a fair thing to say that don't understand the tactics there. We make our way through Mount Moon, as you can see. I'm not going to tell you what fossil I grabbed. And then we went on to fight Misty for the first time, just after an hour, and we were a little bit unlucky. The fact with Bite, I thought we could get Starmie early, but Starmie has Swift that never misses, and it's also a physical attack. And again, our physical defense is really bad. So we lost twice in a row. Decided to take on the rival and work our way up through Nugget Bridge. We took care of the rival and learned Crunch in the meantime, which meant that if we were to face Misty again, it would be a much easier task. So we beat the rival, finish off the Nugget Bridge and all the stuff above, go back to Misty and basically one-shot her the whole way through with Crunch. She hits a Water Pulse, but we obviously survive that and knock her out. We make our way down to Surge, so it's make our way down to the SSN, beat our rival pretty comprehensively at this stage. We beat our rival now pretty comprehensively. The early game has been really handy for Carvenar so far. The Crunch and Bite combination has been working early. At this stage, I hadn't realised I had Water Pulse and could teach a Water type move to Carvenar, which probably would have sped things up a fraction bit more. But nevertheless, we beat Blue and evolve our Sharpedo. And I just thought I would show you guys the animation in real time and have a listen to his cry. Big bad boy. So there we go, Sharpedo for the rest of our run. The Grey White Sharpedo, some might say. So we get Sharpedo, and I'm going to have a quick look at his nature as well. I believe it was a gentle nature, which I'm not quite sure. I think that works towards special attack, but I'd have to triple check on that one. We take on Surge now, and it's actually a bit easier than I thought it was going to be. I was expecting a really tough battle with, like, maybe Sonic Boom from Voltorb and, like, Thunderbolt from Raichu, but I don't know, things didn't really go according to Surge's plans, I guess. It went really well for us. Having Crunch early on, an 80 power stab, was very handy from this point onwards. All the way through to the end of the game I used Crunch, and I learned it at level 22, unlike Houndoom where I learned it quite late. We one-shot Pikachu. And we one-shot Raichu. And that is it. There you go. Lieutenant Surge has been beaten. We make our way through Rock Tunnel, on the way to Celadon City. No real challenge through here, all hikers. Just, I think at this stage I still hadn't taught, excuse my poor English, I haven't taught Sharpedo water pulse yet. Sort of hit me like a brick about halfway through the rocket hideout, I think, that dummy, you can learn water pulse and have a water type attack instead of just 2 dark type moves and slash. So anyway, I learnt my lesson. I finally taught it water pulse and I took on Giovanni. Started with Onyx, and as you can see, finally figured out I could use water pulse and decided to run through his team quite easily. I believe we're like 3 or 4 levels lower than what Houndoom was at this point. I think he was just about level 40. But at the same time, I did the gym and the rocket hideout in reverse order. Last time I went to the gym first because I had the fire type Pokemon. This time I'm going to the rocket hideout because I got the water and dark. So I need the experience before I go and fight Erica. So that was my game plan. So I got the Silph Scope and I went to Erica after 3 hours and 14 minutes. A fair way ahead of where we were before. Victory Bell gets 1 shot. Now we actually don't win this battle as much as I thought we were well prepared for it. Vileplume actually traps us with Stun Spore, as you can see, and we just have a few unlucky rolls and then it just doesn't go our way. We get paralyzed and Giga Drain and it's over. But we go back straight away because I was confident that I could beat him, and we go back with Crunch. And 1-shot Vileplume right at the end. There we go. We collect Giga Drain, we go to Lavender Town and take on the Lavender Tower. Destroy our rival, no challenge at all. We're 15 levels higher than his highest Pokemon. It's not really a challenge at all. Work our way through the tower. We beat Team Rocket and free Cubone's mother and grab the Poke Flute. We then go wake up a Snorlax and head on down to Fuchsia. After 4 hours and 42 minutes so far, well ahead of where we were last time, we take on Koga and things fall our way pretty well. Not a super duper big challenge here. Having the Stab Surf now as well from the Safari Zone over Water Pulse gives us that extra 30 attack power. It being Stab just made life a lot easier. And the Toxic was applied too late. We knock out the Weezing and we've got our 5th badge. We make our way through the Rocket Hideout in Saffron. We take on our rival again. His levels have caught up now a fair bit, but we're still just too far ahead that we find it not too much of a challenge. Having Crunch still makes such a difference. Getting Poison was actually throwing a bit of a spanner in the works. So I was getting a little bit concerned that there might be some heavy damage applied, maybe a Thrash from Gyarados or something like that, but he chose to use Dragon Rage instead, which is only 40 attack power. So I just healed up and annihilated the rest of his team and moved on to Giovanni. Giovanni starts his battle with a Nidorino. We knock him out pretty swiftly. Nidoqueen with another Surf. As you can see, my tactics are pretty clear from here on out for the rest of the game. It's basically Crunch and Surf to bust our way through as quick as we can. We're trying to break that 10 hour and 2 minutes time set by Houndoom. 5 hours and 13 minutes. And we are at Sabrina. Well ahead of where we were before. And the good thing about having another Dark type Pokemon is that the Psychic Gym, we can absolutely destroy the whole gym, get a lot of experience, and have an easy time with Sabrina. Take out Alakazam, and at this stage we haven't got a lot left to do in the game. We've only got to go and get the secret key from Cinnabar Island. We've got to beat Blaine, which we will obviously do quite easily because we're a big water type Pokemon with Surf. So we go and do that. We get to Blaine at 5 hours and 38 minutes. As you can tell, we are well on our way to smash our previous speed run with Houndoom. We basically one-shot the whole team with Surf, and we go immediately to Viridian City, and we take on Giovanni from there. We get Fire Blast, we take on the whole gym, and then we go find Giovanni. 5 hours and 55 minutes, and the whole idea again is to basically surf his whole team away, and then we'll go tackle our rival. And once we've done that, we are off to the Pokemon League. So basically all his team are ground type, and we just surf them all the way. Still bothers me that Rhyhorn is not a Rhydon. I think that is a weak decision. That is one of the maybe the seeds of where Pokemon and Game Freak decided to start making their games a fraction bit easier. We take on our rival now, and his levels have caught up a lot. There's only 7 levels between the difference of our 2 strongest Pokemon, or our aces as some would say. But not much of a challenge just yet, so we take out his team and we work our way up to the Pokemon League. Alright, our first shot, no healables, just one crack at the first person, which is Lorelei, and we actually beat her on the first go. We have quite a good run with Crunch, and Lapras, the defense falls, and we knock her out pretty well straight away. So we know that we can beat Lorelei. 6 hours and 42 minutes after beating her, and we use a couple of rare candies because I know this fight's gonna suck, being really poor in defense and getting Sky uppercutted. And yeah, as you can see, it's not going to be a pretty battle. So we're going to have to do a bit more grinding. We come back again to Bruno at level 72. I use another couple of rare candies, and we're just as bad as we were before. So we've got to grind up even more. We come back again, Hitmonchan gets surfed away, and then the real pressure was on Hitmonlee with Brick Break, which again nearly knocks us out. It's extremely hard to beat Bruno with a Dark type Pokemon. But we have a bit of luck go our way. He misses Cross Chop, and from there we can wipe him out. On to Agatha. Thank God that is over. I had to do so much grinding. After 7 hours and 1 minute, we are into Agatha as quick as we can. That sounds disgusting, but you know what I mean. We bite on all of our Pokemon, defeat them pretty quickly. And at this stage, I'm not really thinking ahead to the Dragon Trainer Lance, but what I should have done was got Ice Beam before I came to the Pokemon League, or as I arrived, because I'd lost a few times and lost a lot of my money. So next time, if I have a Water-type Pokemon, I'll definitely be getting Ice Beam beforehand. As you can see from this battle, I look for it, I don't have it, I carry on with the battle anyway, hoping that I can beat him. And it's just not to be in this case. We can get through most of his team, and then we come up against Dragonite, as you'll see in a second. A Hyper Beam does us in. I try and play it a bit smart with Bite to knock out Dragonair and save some of my moves. I use a full restore to heal up. Dragon Rage I thought would work in my favour, and then he uses an Outrage. I heal up again, another Outrage. I heal up again, and then he heals up, sends out Dragonite, and one hit KOs us with Hyper Beam. So I go and get Ice Beam, I come back at level 78, a bit of grinding in between here and there, and now we are ready to go and basically annihilate the whole league. Having Ice Beam actually helped with Golbat from Agatha, helped with the 2 Dragonairs and obviously the Dragonite, and that obviously helps me in the next battle with the Pidgeot as well. So we beat Dragonite, one hit now with the 4 times super effective Ice Beam, and same goes for Aerodactyl. Hits the deck pretty hard, and we go into battle with our champion. At level 79, 222 attack, which is pretty decent even though we're using special attack pretty much the whole time. Wasn't too threatened by the champion here. Having Ice Beam also will help us against the Venusaur, so it's going to make a fair difference in comparison. I don't know why I didn't think of getting it earlier, but that's the way the cookie crumbles, and we are well almost 2.5 hours ahead of where we were with Houndoom. So I might do another run with Houndoom because I sort of, it was my first go at it. I didn't really have a clue of what I was doing. Of course, I know the game, but I didn't play it to a speed run mentality. Whereas Sharpedo, I definitely developed that a bit more. But we beat Alakazam. We take down Rhydon pretty quickly with a Surf. Gyarados is really the only threat in this team, and he gets actually a little bit closer than what I was expecting him to. He goes Thrash, and actually does a critical hit, and it's kind of scary because I get a bit worried that if he could hit another one, but that's okay. I always have the fear that we might miss or something like that, but we take down Arcanine pretty smoothly. Again, extreme speed. If that crits, I lose, and I have to come all the way back. But we hold on, we hit Surf, and we beat the champion. Finally, after all this time, we are the champion. Oak comes us in, helps us into the Hall of Fame. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed. Let's see what our final time is. A lot quicker than Houndoom, unfortunately. We get our Sharpedo in the Hall of Fame at level 79. And guys, please make sure, if you've made it this far, make sure you comment what Pokemon you want me to do for a solo speedrun in Gen 3. 7 hours and 43 minutes. A lot faster than Houndoom. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed, and we will see you in the next speedrun. Until then, peace!